some fun and sing the Hebrew alphabet, a song for everyone. It's going to be quite simple, 'cause all you'll have to do is sing the letters after us, then we'll sing after you.
Shalom, this is Rabbi Nancy, and I'm so happy to welcome you to part 2 of learning about our Neshama program, our religious school program for Congregation Beth Shalom. Neshama means soul, and the unique intention of this program under the leadership of Benjamin Yudin, our educator, and Ester Varano, the chair of our religious school program, is to have the focus be on the heart and the soul of our students, so that they can understand and live with a personal Judaism that will help them and guide them and inspire them in all of their life. Not only that, but we're aware of the many programs that our children are involved with, and so this program will have a flexibility on how our kids can learn Hebrew. So I look forward to our being together. I look forward to this program, and welcome.
Well, thank you, Rabbi Nancy, for introducing us again and for bringing us together for the second part of our launching of the Neshama Education Program at Congregation Beth Shalom. And as Rabbi said, if you haven't watched our first video, please go to our website and do so. You'll get introduced to our wonderful Director of Education, Benjamin Yudin, and his vision of Jewish education. We're so glad to welcome him again. Hi, Benjamin. How are you?
Hello. Oh, I'm wonderful, Esther. Really looking forward to this new challenge.
Oh, challenges are a good thing, aren't they?
Yes, especially during this time of life on Earth. Yes.
Indeed, indeed. But we're very lucky to have the technology to stay in touch and to be able to talk to all of our families and our kids who are interested in being part of our education program. So really this video is to share with all of you a few of the basic details, the specifics of our Neshama Education Program. So what I would like to do is first ask you, Benjamin, about sort of if you could give us, a broad overview of how you're thinking about this curriculum and how are you going to make it fun?
Thank you, I will. My feeling is that with the total student population that we have at Beth Shalom, there will not be any cracks for any students to fall through during the year. We are able to offer almost one-on-one guidance and tutoring and teaching. My aim, having grown up with Orthodox Judaism and not feeling the emotional pulse of Judaism in Orthodoxy, the way I grew up anyway, I wanted to make sure that this school starts with the spirit, the ruach of the kids, and that ruach comes from me. So I would see myself as the example of how to transmit the beauty, the wisdom, and the teachings of Judaism to the children, as well as, of course, teaching them Hebrew. I don't see religious education needing to compete with private school education or public school education. I feel that there should not be any homework in the classes. I feel that should not be any examinations in the class. And at any time that a parent wishes to come and sit in and see what the child will be doing in class, they are more than welcome. Additionally, I don't see a need for report cards.
I'm sure a lot of kids are going to be happy to hear that.
Yes, it is having a full program that they do in their lives from 8 to 3 every day or whatever the hours they are going to public school, and then having to come to religious school, especially on a Sunday, you don't wish to have them regret or resent having to be there. And so by having a positive, emotionally based and founded curriculum that focuses on the heart of the child as well as the heart of Judaism will allow them to transcend any resentment about having to come to school.
Well, that sounds like a good plan, a good thing to start with, isn't it?
Thank you.
I am going to do something now, which is I'm going to put up I'm going to share something on our screen so that our viewers can see what makes our program really different from the religious school that we all grew up with. And you certainly were talking about this important aspect of connecting to the emotional well-being of the kids. Tell us a little bit more about what you're thinking in terms of making the learning engaging and active.
Each teacher that I have seen so far and had conversations with is exactly who I would hire. And it was wonderful to be able to walk into this staff that we have, because all of these teachers have a positive outlook towards their profession and seems to enjoy or have a love for education to these children. In terms of making it fun, they are learning Hebrew, and there are ways and games that can happen in the classroom that the kids would really enjoy. I have some experience in this, and I can assure you that one complaint that will not appear when you pick up your children to take them home is it was boring, or I did not like it, or it wasn't enjoyable. We are going to open the floodgates, so to speak, of the spirit of Judaism in every single aspect of their life. Another word for Reform Judaism is ethical Judaism. And so when something happens in the classroom that is an opportunity for a lesson in ethics in terms of how to treat another person, I would stop the lesson and ask the kids questions. Did you see what just happened here? What do you think? How could this have been different? Additionally, with the idea of serving others, which is part of the Jewish ethic, I see them on the holidays going to nursing homes or visiting patients in the hospital, bringing them the food that is connected to that holiday. So, for example, Hamantash on Purim or latkes on Hanukkah, and singing songs for them. Also, whatever might be needed in the community, and I'm not familiar with Carmichael yet, but I will be, that the students can use as a way of serving others, we will look into.
I think the kids and the parents alike will appreciate the opportunities to enact some of that principle in our community.
Yes, and I would just like to read the last fragment of the sentence in the box that the parents are looking at right now.
Yes.
Traditions and Hebrew, that they will be taught traditions in Hebrew language so that they are able to integrate Jewish values for a life of kindness and fulfillment. And this is a wonderful foundation and mission statement, because we would like them to be able to use the classroom experience to fulfill them in when they are not in the classroom, and just to know how Judaism emphasizes and how the prophets of the Old Testament emphasize the idea of kindness and fulfillment and taking care of those who need care.
So you mentioned Jewish history and traditions, and obviously Hebrew language, which is very important, especially as the kids come up to B'nai Mitzvah age. B'nai Mitzvah kids lead a morning Shabbat service pretty much from beginning to end, and Rabbi Nancy does a wonderful job of tutoring them to reach that milestone. The Hebrew piece of this is important as they have to chant and pray and recite. Tell me a little bit about how you think Hebrew, how in our program, might look a little bit different in terms of how we're going to teach it.
I feel that the first year of Hebrew learning is the most important year. The students need a strong foundation in the basics of the alphabet and the Kudot that go with it. So the focus in that first year will be to learn not only the alphabet, but how to use it in each year as a progression. So after the foundation year, the second age group will be able to study Hebrew from the prayer book, basically. From one perspective, the only time that the children or any of us read Hebrew is when we have services. And the shortcoming to that is that while we may be able to read the Hebrew, we may not understand it. And so in that second level of Hebrew education, they will be doing the prayers that they hear at the Friday night and Saturday morning services, as well as the interpretation to what those prayers mean. And this gives an endless supply to on-the-spot conversations and discussions as to what this prayer is really saying to each of us.
You're really talking about not Hebrew simply as a technical skill in terms of language acquisition, even though we all agree it's very important, but also integrating the learning of Hebrew into a meaningful context, in the context of liturgy, in the context of what we're actually training the kids to do, which is to be able to participate in services and then take what they learn out of and apply it in their real lives outside of the congregation.
Just to take it a little bit further, I don't wish the Judaic or Jewish education to stop at 6 o'clock when the bell rings, if there is a bell. I wish them to be able at the supper table with their family to bring up something of a value, an ethic that was discussed in class today that they can discuss and get their family input at the table and bring it back to class the next time. So there is Jewish reading the Hebrew is very important. However, knowing what one is reading is also quite important, and they will be rewarded with tremendous understanding and insights into the heart of Judaism as they are able to understand the prayers that they are reading.
I'd like to move on to asking you a little bit about our schedule and what a typical Sunday morning might look like, the Neshama Education Program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to our schedule. Our program will also include some programming for little ones, right? For toddlers once a month, so that they come to our temple and they can read and play and get to know the older kids.
And that's really very important, to have a teacher there who is going to support the vision that you and I both have for this school. And so we have an excellent teacher that is going to be teaching those toddlers and giving them a positive experience, whether it be through stories, dancing, singing, arts and crafts, whatever it might be, so that when they finish that first year with us, they will be looking forward to coming to the next level where they will be introduced to Hebrew.
The morning starts at 9:30 in the morning and ends around noon. And there's a little bit of a variation again for the toddlers and teens, the 8th through 12th graders who are coming on Sundays twice a month as opposed to every Sunday. Tell me a little bit about how you envision a typical Sunday morning.
Well, the rabbi will be greeting everyone, I assume, in the synagogue, and there will be singing and songs and joy. And then each class will be approximately 45 minutes long with a break in between. And it will also end with everyone getting together in the sanctuary and singing with the rabbi again. If there are special programs, if we have an Israeli dance teacher or someone coming in for that day, more or less the entire school will participate in it. Our plan, our vision is not just for the benefit of the children, but also for the benefit of the parents. I know how difficult it is in your schedule to drive, pick up, carpools, whatever it might be. And students who are unable to make a certain class or who need additional time one-on-one with Hebrew, we will have on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays Zoom classes or Skype classes with these students so that the parents don't have to drive an extra day and that they don't have to worry about their child missing a class every now and then.
For the kids who are in 4th through 6th grade, those children are going to be split in their Hebrew learning weekday tutoring.
That was the group we were basically looking as our target group, that they would be able to almost at their leisure, but definitely not to interfere with their schedule during the week or with the parents' commitments as well, to offer help and assistance and support in Hebrew for 45 minutes or an hour once a week outside of Sunday.
Wonderful.
It would be initiated by either the teacher or by the child. Yes, or the parent. Yes. On Monday and Tuesday, I will be working online with those students who wish it or who may need it. And on Wednesday and Thursday, I will be at the temple.
And will you be as flexible as you can on the scheduling of these Hebrew tutoring classes?
Yes, that is the aim. Once again, when a child sees how delighted the parent is in our program, in our vision, in the way that we are trying to accommodate all their needs, it creates a positive attitude towards the school as well. And when the parents see how we are trying to accommodate each child, they also, it will generate with them a positive experience that will again imbue their child with a wonderful attitudes towards Jewish and religious education.
First Friday of every month at Congregation Beth Shalom, we have family Shabbat. Services are a little bit earlier. We always have a very nice light sort of oneg refreshments before the service starts so that everybody can get there and not be hungry. And then Rabbi Nancy leads all of us, all of our families, parents and kids alike, and other congregants in a usually very fun Shabbat services. And then we get to have dinner together. The kids get to play and the parents get to chat over a free, delicious meal that is usually sponsored by some of our congregants and cooked by some of our fathers, parents who have children in our religious school. What do you think is going to happen on Friday on Family Shabbat?
Well, to have a rabbi like Rabbi Nancy, who has the ruach and the joy and the love of not only Judaism, but of the songs and of the children, so that when the child gets called up there to read, he or she will be close to someone who has nourished them all along, which would be the rabbi. The second thing is, if we can remember back, I would try to think back, what was my most positive experiences with religion and my family? And it was difficult. But here, when a child does something with their parents, with one parent, in the temple on a Friday night, that memory stays with them throughout their life. And they will wish to have that similar experience when they become parents. So the idea of having the parent and child participate together, whether it be in reading the Hebrew segment of the prayer or the English segment of the prayer, it's a tremendous asset nourishing the heart with the Jewish experience.
I can speak from my own experience that I relate to this idea of really having some of the most wonderful memories of the times where I am in services with my children at Congregation Beth Shalom. And somewhat like you, I couldn't, when I thought of my own childhood, I could find a few memories there that were like that, but certainly not in the way we do family Shabbat services at Congregation Beth Shalom.
If a child comes with the mother or father on a Friday, or grandmother or grandfather at a Friday night service, that is more than they will ever get in terms of nourishing a Jewish heart with the Jewish experience that they will ever receive on a Sunday. So I would encourage that Friday night service to allow for the child and the parent to not have to get up or carpool on Sunday. And that instead of coming 4 Sundays, they would come 3 Sundays and the Friday night service. My approach is I don't need to compete with the way high school or elementary school is being taught. We are teaching a religion. We are teaching an emotion. And we don't have to teach it the way geometry or history is taught.
I understand that we're going to open enrollment online. It's going to be a very easy process. People can just go to the website and fill in the registration student enrollment form, and it's all automated, and that will open on May 1st. We will have actually enrollment year-round open for anybody who wishes to join us midway. Those fees will be prorated, and we will never turn any child away. Our first day of class, Benjamin, when will that be?
That will be Sunday, September 13th, hopefully at the temple.
September 13th, 2020. And that is right before our high holidays, isn't it?
Yes.
And then our last day of classes, when will that be?
The last day of school is May 23rd, which is a Sunday. And then we will have an all-school party or barbecue. It will either take place at someone's home or at the temple. And it's a very nice way to say goodbye to the kids.
Equally important to really give our children meaningful Jewish education in a way that's relevant to them, relevant to our parents, and to our community as a whole. Thank you so much, Benjamin. So the last thing I want to mention before we say goodbye is that after everybody gets to watch the second video, you and I and Rabbi are going to be offering a live Zoom session for parents to join us and be able to have their questions answered.
Yes, I think it's very important for parents to have their questions and to be answered directly by me or you or the rabbi. And that will happen sometime in May, I believe.
So we invite everybody to join us for that Zoom session so that we can get to know each other and answer questions and talk as well. So Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.